What's up, family? Welcome to Positive Power XXI, J. Royce Films. I'm Jerry Royce Live, and you're watching The Red Room with Shay Samuels, right here on Music Vision Television. That's right, MVTV-21.com. It's going to be awesome, y'all. So please share this file. It's going to be awesome. You know what's going to be? It's going to be lit.
Welcome to another episode of The Red Room. I'm your host, Shay Samuels, and I'm so happy to have you here with us. Listen, if you have tuned into this show, you know that we have amazing topics. We've had amazing guests, but we want to give a great big shout out this episode to our underwriters. Listen, you cannot, and when I mean cannot, do anything without a great team. So I want to say shout out to the underwriters of The Red Room, and we thank you for your service for us and trusting us, honestly, to make sure that your brand gets out there. I want to go right into the show because this opportunity that I have to bless you today, listen, I need you to get a pen. I need you to get paper. I need you to get a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend and have more friends, even cousins, if you will, because we want everybody around us to be better every single day. So that's what this episode is going to be. One of these opportunities that you can learn and grow together. Listen, what I'm known for getting people to walk out their purpose. It is important, not only important, but imperative that we understand what God has placed us here on this earth to do. So many people are lost in it. So many people can't identify with it. And even if you have identified with it before, you might have lost it because of life's distractions. So we're going to talk about that today. So get your seatbelts buckled, get your popcorn, if you will, because we're going to dive in today, and you have some time to make sure that after this episode, you are going to be a better you. So purpose, what is that? That is anything that God has placed in you that will allow you to be an impact in this world. Now get it. There's so many people out there who might understand purpose. There's a lot of people who don't. There's people who will probably see this episode and say, that's not what purpose is. I'm telling you what purpose means to me because I'm walking it out, and I want you to do the same thing. So purpose is anything that God has placed in you that will allow you to impact the world. And so you may say, what is that? Well, the Bible says this: your prominent gift is what makes room for you. So I want you to think about that. What is your prominent gift? Is it that you love people, you care for people? Is it that you like writing books? Is it that you're a singer, a songwriter? Is it that you might be doing something in your community like feeding the homeless? Is it that you just love for children and you like caring for children? Is it on your job you like to be the person to bring the donuts or you like to bring the coffee? Understand that purpose is anything that impacts the world. For everything I just said to you, let me tell you this. Even if you're the person bringing donuts and coffee into the workplace, do you know that there are people who probably haven't eaten that morning? Do you realize that there are people who probably are starving the night before they come in? Do you know that that gesture may be the only kind gesture that somebody has that day and you did it for them? Let me tell you, that's purpose. It's something that they will remember day in and day out. You may be the one person that gives them that one smile a day. So you may think, listen, I'm not impacting the world by bringing donuts and coffee, but I want to share with you that you are in a major, major way. I want to talk to you about the children. When people see children nowadays, you see them as bad. You see them as dysfunctional. Some people say that they have mental health issues. A lot of people say that they're crazy. Even in this generation, we say that they're lost, but there's someone out there who needs you and what your purpose offers. I'm going to tell you something. The children truly are our future. And if they're lost, it's because we let them down. So I want you to tap into your purpose today. What is your purpose and how can it impact the children? Listen, I heard someone say all you have to do is read to them. We have a social media platform that they're on every single day. What can you post that will grab their attention? Especially when there's so many behavioral health challenges happening, what can you post that's not judgmental, that isn't criticizing them and reminding them of how lost they are? It's up for you and your purpose to find them. Listen, if you're just tuning in, I want you to know today, you probably already caught on to it. We're talking about purpose. For those of you who said, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't even know how to impact this world, I'm giving you some ways that you today can begin to impact the world. Are you a singer-songwriter? If you are a singer-songwriter and you're just singing songs to touch people in a way, maybe it's just for radio. Let's just say that. As an artist myself, I know that a lot of people, they make songs and these songs are just for the radio. But what about the people? I understand the billboards matter. I understand charting matters. I understand that getting your song on 10 different platforms matter. But what about the people? Do you realize that your testimony can help someone identify with their purpose? I have heard people say that songs stop them from committing suicide. I've heard people say that they were in the middle of driving off a cliff and literally about to drive off the cliff with 2 kids in the car, and a song stopped them from doing that. What can your song offer to people today? That could be your purpose. And you don't know how many people are actually listening to that song. You don't know, just because you didn't put it on a radio station, how many people picked it up. Create a song that will touch someone else and tap into their purpose. It is a blessing as an artist for me to understand that people listen to my songs, and when they hear the songs, they not only jam to them, but it allows them to think, one, of how good God is, but two, how much purpose they still have left in them. When you have a 64-year-old woman calling you saying, just when I was about to give up. Now listen, people, that is purpose. That's purpose. I want to encourage you today to not think about how grand your purpose can be. Don't think about how you can reach the top quickly. Think about where you are today in your local community. Can you feed the homeless? Here's how important your purpose is. If you can identify with a neighbor being just as homeless as the person who's under the bridge, I'm telling you, your purpose and your gift will make room for you. Do you like to cook? Can you make a sandwich? There are neighbors in your neighborhood who literally may not have eaten the night before, but we consider homeless the ones under the bridge when there's homelessness in homes, but your gift can make room for you. Gather some items up in your home and make sure that people understand, listen, I'm here to help. I may not be the nonprofit that you would go to get your canned foods, but I have enough in my house to give. So your purpose can be just a gift of giving. I want to encourage you lastly that helps is an amazing purpose. The Bible says in Corinthians that God gives us all a gift. Oh, listen, people, God gives us a gift, and there are plenty of gifts. Some are called for prophecy, some are called to minister, some are called as pastors, but there's one gift that we always forget about. And even if you haven't read it, I want you to go back to read it in Philippians 12. This is the gift of helps. Oh my God. Listen, this is the gift of helps. Where can you help today? I want to ask you that. Where can you help today? I'm telling you, when I started thinking about this stuff, I was like, oh my God, there's so many different things that I can do to help around my neighborhood. There's so many things I can help in the schools. There's so many places I can go to help. But that's just kind of a free gift. You can help wherever you are. And so many people have been self-absorbed. I'm not going to help because I'm not going to get anything out of it. Do you want to be blessed? That's the question that I have to ask you. Your purpose is your gift, and your gift will make room for you. Let me ask you this. So many people want to know about monetization. Monetization is what you get paid for. And if you're looking for your purpose to be attached to money, I promise you, you have failed already. Your gift will make room for you, which means that once you operate in your gift, the blessing financially will come to you. I'm a living witness. All I have to do is drive down the road and suddenly my Cash App goes off. But I want to encourage you in that as well. There's so many people who are looking to turn their purpose into profit. God will give you the increase. The Bible again says one man plants a seed, another man waters, but God will give the increase. Seek first the kingdom, says Matthew, and everything else will be added to you. So listen to what I'm saying to you. Seek first the kingdom. You may watch this and you might say, I don't even go to church. But there's a kingdom on the inside of you that you should be seeking. There's purpose on the inside of you that you should be tapping into. And when you tap into that very thing, I promise you that God will give you the increase. Who doesn't believe in God? So I want you to be encouraged in that. I don't care if you go to church or not. This thing called purpose, it's for everyone. Do you know how many non-Christians have lived out purpose who are wealthy? And I'm not saying that you should not be. I'm just saying that you need to tap into it. There are people before they even find Christ who have found purpose, found Christ, and then were blessed abundantly. One man plants a seed, another man waters, and God will give the increase. Let me explain this to you. At some point in your purpose, you're going to be a planter or you're going to be a waterer. Listen, you're going to be the planter or you are going to be the waterer. God is going to give the increase. There's too many times in life where we try to be the one to give the increase. I'm trying to help these people. I'm trying to get them out of this situation. I'm praying them through. And you begin to become frustrated and then your purpose becomes distracted. How many times? I mean, I can raise my hand and say that's been me sometimes, but there's so many times in life where we're trying to be the ones to give the increase. But here's what the Bible says. One man plants a seed, another man waters, and God gives the increase. So I want to encourage you today to plant or water. Whenever you get into a situation where you start to get frustrated about your purpose, listen, whenever you start getting frustrated about your purpose, whenever you start getting frustrated about a thing, whenever you start getting frustrated about people, because that's what you have to deal with. You got to deal with people when you deal with purpose, but people will get on your very last nerve. And when you become frustrated, I want you to count it all joy, but also remember not to grow weary in doing good deeds. When you become frustrated, that's when the distractions come in. I'm telling you, I know it. That's when the distractions come in. Now, you're probably sitting there laughing like, yep, she's right. But I'm telling you, that's when the distractions come in. You start saying opposite of what you decided you wanted to do in the beginning. I love people. I care for them. I want to be a blessing. And then God sends you the people and then you give an opportunity to be a blessing. Those people get on your nerves and you start saying, I don't like people. They get on my nerves. I don't want to deal with people anymore. So the very thing that you wanted to bless you now becomes a curse to you. I want you to be encouraged in this. If that is your purpose, hold tight to it. Hold tight to it. When you become frustrated, there are a few things that you can do in the midst of it. Take a break. It's okay. Again, if you've planted the seed or if you watered the seed, sit back. Look, you can sit back at that point. You can sit back and allow God to be the increase. Say, God, you know what? You got this. You can say, God, you got this. You have this. All I had to do was be the seed sower or the waterer. My job is done. And guess what? If that's your purpose, you got to move on to the next person because there's someone else waiting out there. You know how many times we do this? We start working with somebody and then all of a sudden that person becomes our project. Listen, instead of purpose, they become your project. And so you're trying to change them. You're trying to mold them. You're trying to create something. I want to create in you a clean heart. You cannot do it. Your purpose is not designed for that. Listen, if I can tell you and remind you, even if you don't know the word, that we have one command with the Bible, and that is to go out and make disciples. And when you can do that effectively, I promise you, you can live out on purpose. Again, you're probably saying, look, this young lady knows what she's talking about. I'm going to encourage you and tell you this. I was a 16-year-old mother. I had my second daughter at the age of 17. And I wasn't a broken, busted, disgusted young mother, but I was a determined young mother. I knew that there was so much more in me, and I didn't know how to execute the things that were there. Why? Because I didn't have other people around me who could show me. But what I had was a God. I had people who knew to sow in me, and I had people who knew to water in me. But I did not know that that's what it was. Clearly didn't even know the Bible said for them to do that. But I had people who came in my life, and those people began to encourage me. Those people began to push me. Those people began to speak into me. Those people began to remind me, not just of my purpose, but of who I am. So I was a determined person. I was a pusher myself. I was an encourager myself. And I refused to give up. Being that young mother at the age of 16 and 17 years old, saying I had children at a young age and my life had to stop. There was no way that could happen. And when I encouraged myself to go through school, when I encouraged myself to keep on pushing, buying a house at the age of 21, and when I look at where I am today, I'm telling you, I understand how purpose works. I have an opportunity to speak in front of many of people, including you today, speak in front of many of people because I turned what could have been my pitfall into purpose. I share with many of people day in and day out my story of being a teen mother. And that story of being a teen mother is one of the stories that gets me through every single day. It reminds me why I do what I do. So I want you to first identify what your purpose is. If it's what makes room for you, what gift do you have that's going to make room for you? Write that down. This is my gift, and this is how it's going to make room for me. And then begin to execute that thing. When you write it down, put it somewhere. Put it on your mirror. Put it on your dresser. Put it on your cubicle. Put it in your office. This is what's going to make room for me. And every single time you get distracted, remember, like Philippians 4, the things that are true, noble, kind, and things that are praiseworthy. And I guarantee you, you'll jump right back into your purpose. Once you begin to execute it, here's what God's going to do. God's going to begin to bring you people that will help you do exactly what you're called to do. Listen, they're not going to need you to tell them what you need. They're going to say, I've been sent for this reason. Again, ask me how I know. They're going to say, I am sent here for this reason. They're going to tell you, but they're also going to execute on their end. So now you know that you're clearly walking in your purpose. And as you begin to walk in your purpose, one thing I've noticed is people become puffed up, they become arrogant, and they forget that at some place they were lowly, and God began to bless and continue to bless, and God began to increase. Never forget that God is the increase, even in you. So begin to thank those people that you have become a purpose in their lives for. Begin to thank those people that have pushed you, and begin to thank those people that are to come, because that's where your blessing is going to be. And then share your testimony. Listen, too many times we're walking out on purpose and we don't share our testimonies for somebody else to begin to walk out their own purpose. Don't be ashamed of that testimony, because that's where your purpose lies. Some people stay just like Joseph in the pit, not realizing that there's someone that's going to come and pick them out of the pit. And from the pit, you may go to jail, just like Joseph did. But guess what? There was someone there that he needed to bless. And from jail, he became a servant to another higher power. Listen, you don't know what God is going to do for you or how God is going to do it. But all you need to know is that purpose lies on the inside of you. And because purpose lies on the inside of you, it's not even something you have to buy. It's something that you're born with. Listen, if someone gave you a gift, and they said, listen, I purchased this car for you, and I want you to take it, and I want you to love on it, and I want you to nurture it and care for it, and I want you to enjoy it. You didn't have to pay the price for that. Listen, you didn't have to pay the price. And you might be hesitant in the beginning because you don't know what's going to come out of this thing. But if it's someone you trust, they're going to say, here's this vehicle for you. And I want you to enjoy it. I want you to love on it. Take it around town, take it to other countries. And once you get in there, you have to learn it. You have to embrace it. You have to drive it. You got to get the mileage in on it. And you start feeling comfortable after that. That's how purpose works. But if you get the car and it's just sitting in the driveway, it does you no good, and it probably hurts the person that got it for you because you don't know what they've done to go through the end. So I want to encourage you in this today. Walk out on purpose. Don't be the car sitting in the driveway. Someone has given you that. God has given you the ability to walk out your purpose. And I want to encourage you today to walk it out. Listen, that's my time. I'm Shay Samuels. We want to encourage you again to come in and join us for another episode of The Red Room. Until then, I hope that you have your notes, and I pray even more that you'll begin to utilize them. Thank you again for tuning in. Mwah.
One person at a time, one heartbeat at a time. When I look in the mirror, what I say to myself is, it was all worth it in the end. Oh, life ain't always what it seems to be. Sometimes it will get rough. Hold your head up high, and know which way to go. You better keep that smile. Look to the stars and know, oh, that it will be alright. It will be alright. Oh, that it will be alright. It will be alright. Sometimes I ask myself, one question at a time, one person at a time, one heartbeat at a time. When I look in the mirror, what I say to myself is, it was all worth it in the end. Oh, life ain't always what it seems to be. You'll have your highs and lows. Keep your head up high and know which way to go. You better keep that smile. Look to the sky and know, oh, that it will be alright. It will be alright. Oh, that it will be alright. It will be alright. Oh. When I was down to my last dime, Jesus stepped in right on time. I sure was sick and I couldn't get well. He healed my body. Now I can tell that life ain't always what it seems to be. You'll have your highs and lows. Keep your head up high and know which way to go. You better keep that smile. Look to the sky and know, oh, that it will be alright. It will be alright. They said you'll never make that it will be alright, but you're standing here. It will be alright. It will be alright. That it will be alright.
Classic. Classic.
celebrating life. We celebrating life, we enjoying ourselves. Positive vibes, glass in the air, I'm making a toast to the ones close to you that hate you the most. Genocide mind, I'm breaking the code. Streets ain't safe, erasing the code. Code of the street mean prison or death. Little homie strapped, equipped with a vest. Seen dude eyes closed and he died slow. Off the wall like Michael Jackson with the wide nose. Shed too many tears till my eyes swole. Too much to lose, so I gotta stay in grind mode. My eyes open, no blindfold. Out of sight, out of mind, where did time go? Yeah, mama planted seeds in me to shine more. Out of the soil of the inner city I rose. Went beyond the fence when I was looking for something. Now my car go wrong with a push of a button. Got some haters in the city that look at me funny. I don't ignore them, I just pray for them. Now go be great, you got royalty in you. Offspring of a king who's spoiling his children. Got soldiers front line who joining the mission. Salute with both hands as we form position. Pay attention with elders trying to give you some wisdom. The devil come in the form of men, women, and children. Look in the mirror, see the real opposition itself. Trying to break the chains of mental prison and jail. Looking in heaven, feeling like we are living in hell. Blessed and highly favored, but we ain't living it well. Salt on me, slow motion, smooth as a snail. Swimming in salt water, heart big as a whale. Shout out to my convicts that live in the cell. Correctional officers, please stop giving them hell. Do a time, come home now, better person. I'm still DB, just a little better version. Giving knowledge to the youngsters and let them work it. Acting out on the inside, they really hurting. The devil lurking, trying to hinder you from your purpose. Too many clowns around, this is not a circus. That's why I had to change the scenery. Less dirt, a little more greenery. Whoa, feet up on the beach, enjoying the weather. Change your mindset, we can enjoy it together. Work for the most high and blown forever. When the get tired, still don't get fired. New house, new car, I'm a new man. A new way of thinking, I got a few plans. Got Julio up in my shot glass, yeah. Loud goblins when the stock crash, yeah. About to deal Wall Street, respecting me now. 6 figures with it, I'm more acceptable now. Got people mad cause I'm not available now. Started out in front of me, they trailing me now. Rolling their eyes at me, yet staring me down. Built a kingdom and I ain't sharing my crown. Made my own deals while I'm still independent. On the cruise ship, soon as we finish the business. Come beyond the fence, stop pretending you winning. When you're really winning, you grinning from the minute you get it. That's the shift in your paradigm, yeah. Life not a sprint, it's a marathon. Carry your own weight, I carry mine, yeah. Your empire not verified. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You don't got my back, don't get a spine. Let's go beyond the fence. It's strictly your character. Some of you really embarrass us. Living right here in America. The public is scared of us, sinners not afraid of us. They painted the narrative. We fell for it. Some with the jail for it. Some with the hell for it. Some with the Harvard. Some with the Yale for it. Freedom, I yell for it. And I won't fail going. Me and my 12 cousins, look, we've been dumbed down to the point that we numb now. Let me go a step further. We run around on Instagram. Gotta get the thumbs down. Try to impress others. Problem is, you don't invest nothing. Do nothing, you get nothing. Real men protect women. Real men gotta get something. I'm not gonna rent nothing. We tried, it don't fear nothing. We dying, it don't leave nothing. Gotta keep going, T10 gotta keep growing. After we win, we can take 2 shots, it's like we free throwing. We can toast for real, we been on the chill. Can't relax too long no more, gotta get on for real. Yeah, you expecting the blessing? Let me ask you a question. What do you do with your time? If my message was reckless, you would respect it. Then be out of your mind. The blind is leading the blind, falling into a ditch. Yeah, I'm in this Kenyan line, that's why I'm beyond the fence. So people will feed you lies, erase your common sense. Giving you hope with no evidence. Slowly taking your confidence. They think we incompetent by the way we treat each other. So rude when we treat each other. Hate thick like peanut butter. When it's fake, I ain't finna trust it. Every race, we need to love them. Ignorance, rise above it. This the invitation to the public. When you're thugging, killing your culture, but you're scared of your oppressors. They supplying the pressures. Why ancestors dying to tell us? You say you a real nigga? That's why I can deal with you. Let's paint this little picture. Teach your children when they get a little bigger. Let the forefathers was some slave owners, bought any trade owners. Been screwing us for a long time. They ran the train on us, putting the fade on us, the rock that laid on us, turning the page on us. Study multiple weaknesses, that's why they prey on us. Make it rely.